The next set of notes for this unit will be on the endocrine system, which is the sister to the nervous system. The endocrine system is going to be the slower chemical communication system that releases hormones. Okay, so let's contrast that with the nervous system that we have talked about. So the nervous system releases neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are electrochemical things. I can't think of the word, but electrochemical substances through the nerves, right? So it's really, really fast. Think of electricity. It's going to be fast. The endocrine system is the slow chemical communication system, and it works by releasing hormones into your bloodstream. So your bloodstream is going to take a little bit longer than electricity, right? Than going through those nerves. So that's the difference between the two. However, a lot of times there are neurotransmitters that are also hormones and vice versa, because they're going to do the same thing. They're just going to be released either through the nervous system or through the bloodstream. So it just depends on which system it is through, of what it is called at that point. So under normal circumstances, the endocrine system works with our parasympathetic nervous system to keep us at homeostasis. Remember, parasympathetic nervous system is calming the body, that rest and digest kind of situation with our body, where it's normal functioning, okay? When we are in a crisis or a fight or flight situation, it works to support the sympathetic nervous system to enable to us to continue to respond even after those neurotransmitters have worn off. After that initial fight or flight is gone, the hormones will continue to keep us engaged so that we can continue to respond in a crisis. So let's look at an example. So you're at a gas station while it's being robbed, and the criminal pulls a gun on you and the attendant. Your central nervous system sends a message. Remember, central nervous system is our brain and our spinal cord. Sends a message saying that our sympathetic nervous system needs to engage and needs to prepare us for fight or flight. So what's going to happen, right? Remember, we said that our heart rate increases, our digestion slows, our breathing gets quicker. We have a release of neurotransmitters that allow us to react, right? Your endocrine system is also going to be firing. It's going to be releasing adrenaline, epinephrine, into the bloodstream from the adrenal glands. And this adrenaline keeps you going longer than the norepinephrine that's in your neurotransmitter, okay? So that's just in the brain. That's really, really fast and a quick response that we can respond immediately, but the adrenaline keeps you going, okay? And so it sustains our body's defensive reaction. So the two systems work together. The endocrine system finishes up what the nervous system starts. So the endocrine system is now continuing to keep our heart pounding, our muscles tense, are ready for action, okay? So that is how the two systems work together. So let's talk about the different parts of the endocrine system. The first is the pituitary gland, the most important part of the endocrine system. It is our master gland. This is the one that controls them all. It regulates the activity of all of the other glands. So this is like the mothership. It tells all of the other glands within the endocrine system what to do. The pituitary gland is under the control of the hypothalamus, which is a brain structure we're going to talk about in the next video. And it sends out hormones or hormone signals to other endocrine glands so that it can tell, the thalamus to release hormones, or I'm sorry, not the thalamus, the thyroid to release hormones, et cetera, et cetera. The next is the thyroid gland, the one that I just misspoke about. Our thyroid is in our neck, and it is going to regulate metabolism. It's also going to regulate physical growth and development. And then our calcium rate. A lot of people who have issues with their thyroid are going to have issues with their weight. They might notice that they're gaining weight for no particular reason, or maybe they aren't growing at a steady rate, and that might be because they have some sort of issue with their thyroid gland. The next is our adrenal gland. Adrenal gland regulates our fight or flight response and our metabolism. But remember, adrenaline. So we get that adrenaline rush when we're in a crisis, and that is our fight or flight response. And so the hormone adrenaline is released from our adrenal gland, which is in our belly. The pancreas is very important in our digestion. So our pancreas regulates the level of glucose or sugar in our bloodstream. So if someone is diabetic, they have issues with their pancreas, and with insulin is what breaks down those sugars. And so sometimes their pancreas is going to be not functioning as well, or it's not functioning at all. So that is the pancreas and would be associated with diabetes. The next is the gonads. Our gonads are located in our nether regions, right? They regulate our bodily development. There's two different kinds of gonads. So we have, for males, we have the testes. For females, we have the ovaries. So depending on which biological sex you are, then you have one of those gonads. And these regulate and maintain our reproductive organs. So they produce sperm, they produce the eggs. In women, the ovaries produce estrogen and progesterone. And then in males, they produce testosterone. So those are the hormones that regulate our sexual development. So what is the connection here? How does the nervous system work with the endocrine system? If they're two separate systems, one's in our blood, one's in our nerves, how do they work together? Well, it's all through the hypothalamus. Okay? The hypothalamus is going to be the one that is controlling the pituitary gland. That is the main connection there. There is this, the hypothalamus tells the pituitary gland what to do. So the hypothalamus is in our brain, which is our nervous system, and then that controls the pituitary gland, which again is controlling all of the other glands in our body.